10 years deep. Yeah, I would say that don't feel bad if you find yourself reinventing yourself several times over after you leave school, right? What do I mean by that is, right out of school, you're going to be really excited potentially for the non-entrepreneurs in here to maybe just jump right into a corporate position, be it Google, be it applied materials, whatever. You get into that position, you get that thing, and you test that out, put your foot in the water for a few months, 6 months, a year, and you're not really feeling it anymore. Don't be afraid to pack up and move on to the next thing, right? It's completely normal in this day and age to try something out, find that you don't like it, that's not vibing with who you are anymore, and then try something else out. And a little funny story about my entrepreneur journey. When I went to school, I'm not even joking, I wanted to be a chef at one point. I did that for like a semester or two. Then I thought I was going to go to LA and be an actor. Probably everybody has that thought at some point. Then I wanted to be a lawyer. Would I be a good lawyer? I don't know. I talk a lot of bullshit, maybe. And then finally, I wanted to become an entrepreneur because I had a really awesome business professor. And that really inspired me to go the entrepreneur track. And it really awakened my entrepreneurial senses, like that's what I want to do. So, but that took a lot of time, right? I was dabbling in a lot of different stuff. So it could happen while you're in school. It could happen once you leave San Jose State, but don't be worried about that, and don't feel bad about, hey, I told mom and dad I really was going to be a dentist. Now I'm not feeling that anymore. Like, that's totally fine.
How do you really gauge your own value? You know, how do you know when you're not being offensive to ask for a certain, you might think that you're worth 200K, but then really your level of experience or your position is only calling for.
Well, I've hired numerous people now over the last 10 years we've been running the company, and I can say the people that I'm personally the most impressed with is not necessarily people that just have a resume that just goes on and on and on. It's really the people that show up to the interview on their game, and they already know everything there is, about my business or what we're putting out there as a job offer, the position I should say, and they're able to convey a confidence to me that not only are they going to come in and do the job, but they're going to be proactive in doing more than what's asked of them without hesitation or without kind of like second guessing, needing all that kind of. So just someone that comes and says, oh, I have all this experience, that's why you should pay me $200,000. That could be true in one scenario, but I might still give that much money to maybe an unproven or a person with not as much knowledge if they really show me that fighting spirit, if they really show me that that's like, I'm worth this because I'm going to deliver this for you, this and this. And like I said, what the other panelists have been saying, it is about that conviction, it is about that confidence. And for most younger people that are going to go out into their first position and try to do that, I would just say, proceed with caution. Be humble about your approach. People can smell arrogance, they can smell fakeness a mile away. So be humble about your approach, but if you're confident in who you are and you say, and you tell yourself, no, I am worth this because what I'm going to be bringing to the table for you, that confidence will come across. And there will be hiring managers that look at you and say, you know what, all right, we'll give you a run at that. We'll give you a try at that. So like she was saying, it doesn't. All that can hurt is that they go, no, at this current time, based on your work history, we would be willing to offer you just this.
And there's websites out there that tell you like, for that role that you're applying for, the amount of years, the salary ranges, so you kind of know going into it what their higher offer is, what the lower is, so you can kind of play with that too.
Salary.com, great place to check out.
Yeah.
Look at the back there.
How would you go about wording?
And just say, find any startup in Silicon Valley, there's thousands of them. Say, hey man, I'll come by, I'll run errands, I'll do whatever you need, let me just hang out here and observe. Really zero in on leadership of that startup. I think communication, you brought that up earlier. Communication's everything in a startup because everyone in a startup culture is like down to roll up their sleeves and do every single job, right? There's not really one person that's just isolated. I'm only going to be a programmer. You might be a programmer 1 minute and taking out the trash the next, right? And so you want to immerse yourself in that environment to see, is this really for me? Like, there's some crazy stuff happening here. Is this really what I want to sign up for? And it's awesome when it works out. But when it doesn't, man, it's crazy. Watch out.
Outside of technical ability, what do you want to see in a person? What makes you say, yes, I want you to work for my company, or yes, I want to work with you?
Yeah. Cultural fit.
Yeah.
Cultural fit, for sure. You could have all the skills in the world. I always say this about, like, we hire salespeople at our company, and I always say I would rather take, like, if you're a really amazing salesperson, but you're a complete jerk to be around, like, you can keep your sales. I would rather hire someone who's younger and green and needs to learn, but they're optimistic and they're a perfect cultural fit for our company.
Yeah, so it's actually a question for all of you. What do you think is your most valuable skill or professional experience?
I'm going to say I have learned over time how to empower other people to take ownership and be the best that they can be. I feel like that's my gift, is I see something in someone that they might not see, and then I gently push them in that direction. Like, we have a girl on our staff right now, a young lady. When she first joined us, she was very, very, like, we do a lot of webinars and things of that nature, and she was very shy to be on camera, very shy to be at the forefront. Like, on any kind of stage setting like this, she would freak out initially. But she confided in me that she'd always kind of hoped one day she could do that. So, and I saw great potential in her for being able to do that. So we kind of like rallied around her and built her up and said, you know, we're gonna put together this small little like webinar. It's gonna be for just a handful of our partners. Why don't you just test out, like, like, I'm gonna host it, why don't you co-host it with me? So we like kind of slowly got her into that, and she's like, all right, so I'll try that out. And now she she does all of it. And she's gone on stage in front of like hundreds of people, and she's really, really good. She's very, very polished and very well spoken for, but she just needed that support and encouragement to believe in herself that she could actually get out there and do that. So I'm not sure where that fear stems from, but sometimes people just need that encouragement to say, you know what, you're amazing at that, like, go do that, like, empowering. So it's something I feel like.
Like the thought of like, I guess like like CEOs like Mark Zuckerberg, like them quitting college. What's the difference of me just quitting now and just starting?
But
They had traction though.
they had
before
traction.
left.
College.
Yeah.
They already had launched across like 8 schools, right?
Yeah.
And I think too, echoed also is where you're at in your life, right? Someone who has a husband, wife, or a brand new baby is not going to be in a position where they can walk away from the safeness of a paycheck from Facebook every 2 weeks, right? As easy as someone who's young, maybe still living at home, none of that other baggage, right? So to speak, I hate to call wife and baby baggage, but you know what I mean, right? So, what my point is, if you're considering this, hear what all the advice is on all that, but be strategic about it, right? Examine where you're at in life, all the stuff that you have in play. Look at the traction you already have right now. Do you already have some traction?
Yeah.
You already have some traction, wonderful, all right? So, ask yourself, if I make this leap, there's no turning back. You gotta be okay with that. You gotta tell your parents it's okay, all right? But then ask yourself, if I did dedicate 40 hours a week to this thing that I already have some traction on, how much kerosene can we throw on that fire, right? And if the answer in your mind is a lot, I think it could be really huge. Then, as they were saying, you're young once, go for it, and because you have less things at play that could, if it doesn't go the way you think, you can get back into the workforce, stuff like that, right? So, try to factor all that stuff in.